Everybody's getting settled. Joining us now is ACC Linebacker of the Week and Butkus Award semifinalist Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I'm going to break protocol here as well, just since he's here early. In about 6 minutes, he'll be named both the Nagurski Defensive Player of the Week and the Bednarik Award Player of the Week. So congratulations, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Providing that to y'all on embargo for the next 6 minutes. Joined now by Jeremiah. Y'all fire away with questions whenever you're ready.
Jeremiah, to hear that recognition, so much acknowledgement for your play, certainly this past week, but no doubt that is representative of your resume as well. What's that mean to you? How do you take that sort of recognition?
It means a lot. I just give glory to God. I know without Him, I wouldn't be in this position, have the opportunities that I have. That's first thing, but it also just goes to show and just proves to me that I just got to keep working hard, day in and day out, keep doing what I can to help my teammates, and recognition like this will come as long as I just keep my head down and keep grinding, and it just just a little bit more just fuel to the tank to go in and practice and just give it all I got to try to get better at my craft.
Wes Goodwin was in here yesterday and said your hamstring was kind of nagging you early in the year. I guess when did you feel 100% and how much do you think it could all that affected?
Yeah, I'd probably say a little bit earlier in the year it was a little bit of a bother, but I still had enough to be able to go out there and just do what I could for my teammates. But I'd probably say, after that second, third game, I was back to 100% completely. I was able to get that burst back that I could really feel. But I just thank God. He carried me throughout this whole year, just being with me the whole way and helped make my body right, allow me to get prepared, each week. And I'm glad, I was able to get that, that hamstring right, so I could go out there and just play to the best of my abilities.
When I guess you came down with that injury during camp, right? And
Yeah.
You were held out. How concerning is that in the moment? Just you've been around football all your life, just knowing how often that can be a nagging thing through a long period of time.
Yeah, definitely at the time, it wasn't something that I would have liked to have happened just because I love to be out there, working with my guys out there on the practice field and also just being able to get those reps. But, I did what I could, got the mental reps, had a great training staff, helped me get back, to prepare my body the best that they could. And I really appreciate them for that. But, when things like that happen, you just got to just keep moving forward, find a way to, get better any way that you can. And I'm glad, I was able to do that.
What type of critiques or feedback did you get from your dad about Saturday's performance?
Yeah, he definitely, loved me up. He called me after the game, just excited, just saying I had a great game and whatnot. He gave me my praise, and then he moved on to the corrections that I need to make as far as the plays I messed up. And I definitely, after the game, I knew there were some plays I wish I could have had back and did a little bit differently as far as my technique-wise. And, he just does a good job, making sure, loves me up, gives me praise, when I have a good game, but also lets me know that there's still things that I can get better to even have a even better game. So that's pretty much how it went after the game as far as my dad coaching me up and whatnot.
When you're taking on a running back and setting him up, how much of that is brain, and your craft, and how much of it is just athletic ability?
I probably say, just a lot of it is just technique, going in practice and trying to treat every single rep if I get the opportunity while I'm blitzing a running back, just trying to, make sure I'm treating it like a game rep. And then also it's just a lot of feeling of what, I feel like the running back, if he's sitting light or if he's leaning a little bit too much, that can really depend on the type of move I make. But a lot of it is just, technique, working on it in practice, and then as well as, just getting a feel for the game and a feel for the type of running back that you're pass rushing.
How much of that feel was developed from watching those guys on film coming in?
A lot of it was from, film, watching them, how they block linebackers and, the type of technique that they was, their go-to when they blocked the linebacker. So the film definitely helped a lot as far as, my mindset or my plan when I was rushing those running backs.
I guess, do you set that up in a way? I mean, do you rush a certain way one time and then another way another, or is it the same?
Definitely got to, set up the pass rush move so they can't, pick up on it really easily. But I like to. They might be watching these interviews. I don't want to give them away my secrets, but it's definitely just got to get a feel for the how they're playing you, how they're trying to block you, and then watch film on them and how they block other linebackers whenever they're pass rushing. So a lot of it is just just a lot of just work, a lot of film study, and then a lot of just getting a feel for the game and a feel for how each individual running back is going to pass block against you.
Jeremiah, I'm aware there's a level of no duh to this question, but I hope you'll humor me. How important was it for you guys to get a win? How have you seen it affect your teammates already just a couple days since?
It definitely was a really big win, an emotional win for us, especially, just the type of win it was for, Coach Swinney getting that 166. But, I mean, we were really hungry for a win, and I feel like that really showed out there on the field, just the way that we played on both sides of the ball, just the type of effort that, everybody all around had to come out with a win. So I was just really proud of my guys. We just got to carry that mentality on to get another win this weekend.
Let's go back a couple weeks. I know Coach Swinney talked about the speech you gave post-game in Miami. They thought you maybe said more words in that 3 minutes than heard 3 years. And what brought that out of you in that moment?
Really just, I felt like that our guys in that moment coming off that loss, overtime loss, that was something that, we needed to hear. And just something that is allow my guys to see the bigger picture as far as, we can't do anything about that win right now, but what we can do is get back to work and not lose again on that upcoming week. So it just really just trying to, make sure the mindset was right, make sure guys didn't get down and let that loss linger. Just have a forward-thinking type of mindset and not, quit or anything like that. Just keep trying to get better, keep trying to correct the mistakes, and just keep working to finish out the season strong.
Have you ever given a speech like that, even going back to high school or whatever, or was that completely different?
I really was more one of those guys. I like to get guys one-on-one, talk to guys like that, lead by example. But I was more like a one-on-one type of guy. I'll come to pull guys off to the side, give them some motivation and whatnot. But that's probably one of the maybe first or second times that I actually just in front of the whole team, I actually stood up and said some words.
Why did you feel like it was? Is it just that you have recognition now that I'm somebody people look to and I need to have the voice, or what kind of makes you do that for the first time?
I feel like that was a part of it. Just you definitely have to have respect for from your teammates, for what you're saying to actually mean something, for them to actually listen. You can't be a guy that isn't about your business or contradicting what you're actually preaching to your teammates. So just being able to gain that respect and allow guys to be able to actually hear the message, that's a big part of it. And my decision as if I'm going to speak up and actually be one of the guys or somebody that is going to actually talk to the whole defense or talk to the whole team as one.
I remember even talking to your dad. He said, what if there was a quarterback who didn't talk? How would that go? Is that partially also talking with your dad about this is what a middle linebacker has to be in some of those conversations?
Oh yeah, he definitely over the years he definitely told me that I'm a good leader, definitely by example, but I got to be more vocal in the locker room, and I feel like over the years I've definitely got better at that. As far as just even out there on the field, just trying to get the defense lined up, get guys moved around, get the calls out, and so he definitely just over the years he's seen just my development on as a leader and being more vocal develop over time, and he's been preaching to me all these years of how I got to improve on that, and he's definitely seen me improve.
What was practice like around here last week?
Definitely high intensity. We had a mentality of just bringing physicality to the game. Even the scout team, I give a lot of praise to those guys. They definitely helped us get ready this upcoming week for those, the big backs and the physicality that the old linemen bring. Just trying to run us over basically whenever they ran the ball, and so big props to them. But it was definitely a mentality of we have to strain, we have to give everything we got, and just don't leave anything in the tank, and we have to execute our game plan. And I feel like on Saturday that just that preparation going into the week definitely helped for us to come out with a win.
What does it mean when your head coach kind of starts out the week and is like, all right, everybody's job's on the line. Like, you prove to me that you deserve to be here.
Yeah, you know that sometimes you got to do that, and that's something that the team has to hear, just to make you strain a little bit more and really feel that pressure of, I got to get my job done, not just for me, but for the team, for my brothers, for my coaches, and I feel like the way that when I watch back on the film, just watching both sides of the ball, that's the type of mentality that people were playing with.
Is the challenge now to preserve that edge moving forward, to where it's not just one game, to where it's consistent through the rest of the season?
Definitely. I mean, this is a game of consistency. You got to be consistent. I've already flushed last week, and I'm moving on to Georgia Tech, and I feel like that's a lot of what our guys' mentality is. That was a great win. We celebrated that weekend, but come Monday, or I guess Tuesday now, but we flushed it, corrected the mistakes, and now we got to move on to the next opponent, and we can't get too high on that emotional win that we had. We just got to focus on what's upcoming, and we got to focus on that mentality that we have to bring to that game.
Jeremiah, on the film study and the preparation that you put in week to week, how much of that is self-taught versus what you watched your dad do, preparing week in and week out?
Really, just a lot of it has been what my dad, told me throughout my career, just all the way up to this point. I know my dad. He watched a lot of film when he was in the NFL, and just like the process that he went through during a regular game week, and he just tried to instill that into me as well, trying to preach to me how I need to watch film, and how big that is up to how you play on Saturdays. Just because if you can anticipate, what the offense is going to do out of certain formations, you can get to the ball a lot faster. You can play a lot faster, and you're more sure of yourself and the movements that you do. So he's definitely a big part of just my development as far as how I take film seriously.
How old would you say you were when that was really a conversation of hey, you want to play like a pro, you got to prepare like a pro?
All the way up through really my whole career. I mean, even in middle school, we'd film games. We'd scout our opponents, so we get a few games of the opponents that we had in our Pop Warner League, and then we'd be watching film. Me and my dad, and then even the whole team, we'd be watching film, the opponent, what we got to look for, and what we got coming up. So, film has always been there, all the way through my career, and he's just been trying to instill that into me, throughout my whole process of just learning the game and whatnot.
So you've been watching film. I'm sorry, you said from Pop Warner days?
Yeah, in Pop Warner days, I even remember just being in watching film of my opponent coming up. We filmed the game, even my games too. So after the games, we go right to the living room, and we'll put it up on the TV, and we watching film of what corrections I need to make and what I need to fix.
Picture of it this weekend where you were doing the axe job. I don't think you did that really growing up. That just kind of came out of you recently, right?
Yeah, I really never did it growing up. My teammates knew who my dad was. They always say, you got to do it. But I was kind of just because I was never the guy that was real, try to be real flashy or celebrate. I might get up and scream or something like that. But I'm more I like to make a play, celebrate and just get back and move on to the next play. But, once I did it the first time last year against Syracuse, it kind of stuck. My teammates liked it. It got them hyped. My dad loved it. And he basically, just said, you got to keep doing it. Everybody's loving it. So I was all right. So I'm now just, that's one of the key celebrations, I do after a big play.
Was that ever a battle for you of everybody knowing who your dad was and was there ever a sense of his shadow in any way, or how have you handled that throughout your career?
No, I never felt that way, as far as there being a shadow. I have to live up to a name or anything. My dad always told me, you're your own player. There's some similarities in our games, but at the end of the day, you're your own player, and there's no pressure to have to go out there and perform to make him proud or just live up to a name. He's always told me, even if I wasn't a football player, he'd be proud of me. He loved me the same way. So it was really him telling me that definitely takes a lot of the pressure off, and I really just never felt like there was pressure at all. And whenever I go out there, I just know, I just got to prepare, work hard, and trust in God. And at the end of the day, success will come if you work hard enough and you have faith in God.
You remember watching your dad when you were little and like trying to mimic his moves?
Really, I was so young when he was playing. I don't remember too much, but as I grew up, seeing like highlights here and there, just like the way that he would take on linemen, or he would blitz or be in coverage. Sometimes I try to take notes from that and apply it to my game, because he was a really good football player, a really talented linebacker in the NFL. So I definitely try to take notes from watching, if I see like highlights or like clips here and there from his game.
I guess you have a couple of pick six now, though, in your
Oh,
career.
yeah.
So did your dad have a knack for that at all, or do you feel like you have an edge on him in terms of pass protection?
I'm not sure how many pick sixes he had in his career. I know there is a clip of one that he did have. I'm not sure what team it was, but he did have a pick six. He did. I've seen that highlight before, but I'm sure he was really good in pass coverage as well and had his fair share of interceptions. Yeah.
That interception was a result of film study. Is that something you did see in film, and that's why you were able to make that play?
I feel like the formation and something just seeing like the alignment of the wide receivers or the wide receiver in that situation did help, and seeing that on film, and just trying to narrow it down to the amount of routes that he could run out of that in relation to my responsibility. So being able to watch that on film definitely does help, and I was able to just feel the wide receiver, see where he was going, and also had eyes on the QB right there to be able to make a play for my team.
Any questions for Jeremiah from Zoom? Anybody in the room?
Jeremiah, what's your favorite thing about your dad and your relationship?
I'd probably say just being able to separate football and, being a dad. I mean, he knows, you can't be a coach all the time, but, it definitely helps, when he's a coach, but also he can, when the football is done, in the off season or just, just other times, just ask me about my day, ask how class goes. And then we just, talk about what we got going on in life. But, just being able to separate the two and not always being a coach.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, Trot.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.